regime, the Yunus regime, backed by Jamaat-e-Islami and backed by Pakistan and the Western powers, they were campaigning for a change in the constitution. They were campaigning for a stronger presidential form of government. They were campaigning to dilute the history of the liberation war. But we know that the BNP stands by the values of the liberation war, and their founder, President Tarique Rahman, was a freedom fighter. And so I think all in all, the election results, we have to congratulate Tarique Rahman, congratulate the BNP, and above all, congratulate the people of Bangladesh for being so sagacious, for actually recognizing the threats to Bangladesh in the form of Islamic fundamentalism and bringing to power a democratic party. I'm sure India will have very good relations with the BNP, and it will be very good for the subcontinent, for South Asia, for India's neighborhood first foreign policy. I think this is the election results of last night are represent a great victory for the people of Bangladesh. And I think that the victory of Tarique Rahman is a victory for democracy, because Jamaat-e-Islami had been campaigning very strongly, very strongly, using financial exhortation, using religious exhortation, saying if you vote for Jamaat-e-Islami, you will go to heaven. And they were really, with the support of the Western powers and support of Pakistan, they were really all set to form a government on their own. And I think the way in which the people of Bangladesh have shown that they are religious, but they are not in favor of Islamic radicalization, they are not in favor of Islamic extremism, and they will not support any fundamentalist party. This is the first message, I think, from the election results, because we all know the kind of pressure that the people were under, especially in the rural areas, because we know in the rural areas, the Jamaat-e-Islami has a very strong cadre, and the Jamaat-e-Islami had deliberately banned the activities of the Awami League to prevent them from participating, because we know that the Awami League also has a very strong rural-based cadre. So the Jamaat-e-Islami had assumed that because the Awami League is not there, so all the vote will come to them. But I think that, with the effort that the people have taken. And we've seen that Tarique Rahman actually in the beginning was even campaigning against the referendum. He was campaigning for a no vote on the referendum. So I think the fact that the Yunus-backed regime, the Yunus regime backed by Jamaat-e-Islami and backed by Pakistan and the Western powers, they were campaigning for a change in the constitution. They were campaigning for a stronger presidential form of government. They were campaigning to dilute the history of the liberation war. But we know that the BNP stands by the values of the liberation war, and their founder, President Tarique Rahman, was a freedom fighter. And so I think all in all, the election results, we have to congratulate Tarique Rahman, congratulate the BNP, and above all, congratulate the people of Bangladesh for being so sagacious, for actually recognizing the threats to Bangladesh in the form of Islamic fundamentalism and bringing to power a democratic party. I'm sure India will have very good relations with the BNP, and it will be very good for the subcontinent, for South Asia, for India's neighborhood first foreign policy. I think it's a very good message from our Prime Minister. I'm very glad that he has early today sent a message, among the first messages received by future Prime Minister Tarique Rahman. And I think it's a very good augury that our government is ready to work with the people of Bangladesh, with the elected government of Bangladesh, with Prime Minister Tarique Rahman for the future of our subcontinent. This is a very good gesture and very much fits in with India's neighborhood first foreign policy. I sincerely hope that there is a strongly positive response from Prime Minister Tarique Rahman, and that there will be a new focus. Yunus, the chief advisor of the interim regime, he had done everything to wreck the very well built up economic cooperation between India and Bangladesh, the trade relationship, the investment relationship, and even we said that where there's going to be a special economic zone for India. Now you've got, this the Chinese drone factory and so on coming in. I think all this aggression and focus on defense, I hope it will come into perspective, and India and Bangladesh will be able to resume their excellent cooperation, and all issues, whether it is water resources, whether it is the border, everything will be discussed to the mutual benefit, respecting each other's sovereignty, each other's sensitivity, each other's security red lines. All this is very important, and keeping this in mind, I'm sure the relationship will grow very strongly.
I think in many senses, we have come full circle, and people of Bangladesh have voted for a party that represents political interests It is a pro-liberation party. That means it believes in the spirit of 1971, as opposed to Jamaat-e-Islami, which was opposed to the liberation struggle of Bangladesh in 1971. The head of the BNP, Tarique Rahman, has made some positive statements about his intention to maintain good relations with India, to ensure that minorities are protected in his country, and that cooperation with Bangladesh's most immediate and largest neighbor would be one that would be mutually beneficial to both sides. So this is all good news. And I think the results are a vindication of the way the people of Bangladesh want this country to go. I think, in many senses, it does not mean that the specter of a move towards communal, radical and, Islamization of the country is over. It is an important time for the pro-liberation and largely secular forces of Bangladesh to come together on a sort of a united front to counter these forces that would represent in many senses the end of the idea of Bangladesh. So this is good news for those, not only for Bangladesh and the people of Bangladesh, but also for those who are friends of Bangladesh, who believe in a good relationship with Bangladesh. It has vindicated their sentiments, and I think this is for all of us a very, very good news.
What is the diplomatic challenges for India, sir? As we were close to the Sheikh Hasina party.
No, I think there is a certain pragmatism in our foreign policy which believes in India first. What is important is that we have to have good relations with all of our neighbors. Our neighbors are the most important part of any foreign policy that we have. And we have to make sure that our relations with our neighbor are good, that we have a strong working relationship at least with all of our neighbors. And I think BNP offers us this possibility, which I think is very important.